Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode on the channel. This is a special review episode for the Tropical Pack DLC. The folks at Frontier were kind enough to give me early access. As I've done in the past, usually I'll do either a video or a live stream, and I've been joined by Iben in the past. So I've asked him to come today and give us his professional insights. So welcome, Iben.
Hello.
So before we start, looking at these pieces, just generally speaking, what are your thoughts on the DLC?
Well, I'm very glad that Frontier gave me all these pieces after working on Koali for like almost 2 years.
Right.
No. All jokes aside, I've been very hyped about this pack. There's a lot of good stuff in here, and I can't wait to dive into it.
Sweet. Yeah, I agree. I think it's one of the better packs. I mean, you can definitely tell it's similar to the sort of development of Planet Coaster, where the further along we went, the more and more Frontier really appealed to the sort of hardcore player. And so I think we're seeing more and more of that. I mean, there's still some things that I know. And we'll get into that we would have liked to see that aren't here, but generally speaking, you can see that they're trying to give us things we want. So put a keeper here for scale. So we can start seeing some of the pieces here. I mean, there's a lot of Flexi-color stuff. There's a lot that isn't, but things that are, I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. And like the majority that you want to have Flexi-color is Flexi-color, and then pieces like this are Flexi-color too and have like 4 slots, which is absolutely insane.
Right.
So you can.
That's not. I mean, and that one I kind of get. I mean, it would be nice, but those are ones where I definitely get more of the textural sort of thing. But and then when they can't do that, it is nice that they do give us options here. So
but the golden one is also Flexi-color.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What's interesting is that those are Flexi-color, but like when we look at it is not.
I was going to say the same thing.
The trim is not, or it's not at all, period, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's sometimes there's decisions that are made there that, I'm sure there's probably a reason for, maybe not, I don't know. I don't know anything about game development, so, but we just want maximum flexibility. So.
Yeah, I always assume that if something is is there for a certain reason, and just because I can't think of the reason doesn't mean that there isn't a reason for it. So but these pieces, all these cloth pieces, these are absolutely awesome.
Yeah, they're, I mean, obviously Flexi-color, tons of, I don't even know what Haribo and Christina are going to make out of these. So. But yeah, I mean, there's tons of potential uses for these that aren't just as like a decoration, obviously.
And it's a thing that's a theme of this pack for me so far. I can't wait to see what the Bronation members are going to do with all of this, because there's plenty here that they can do some crazy stuff with.
Yeah. And of course, in the foreground here, we got the new path. I know that was something people noticed in the screenshots and stuff. I mean, the only, and this is, I know I'm asking for something that's probably not possible, but it would be nice if it was like, if these in-between spaces picked up the ground texture underneath.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that, but that would be cool.
Because then it would have a lot of broad uses there. One thing I did think was, I've seen this stuff used for retaining purposes on like hillsides and stuff.
Oh.
So just, and this is super ugly. You would have to like add foliage and all that kind of stuff and other rocks and things, but potentially use that as retaining.
That's really cool. And I didn't even think of that. For me, this was a path that I was going to use for like parking lots, because in Europe you often have these kinds.
Yeah, you don't have asphalts. Don't ask the Pelosa group about parking lots in Europe versus America.
This will bring back traumas.
Pelosa Gate. So,
sorry, Ricey.
Sorry for people who aren't on Bronation. That's definitely that's an inside joke.
That's a deep cut.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, then my only complaint here is the size. I mean, it's but that being said, you could turn this into a really cool planter as well. Same with this, depending on the area you're in.
And to be fair, sometimes certain planters are just bigger. So it doesn't bother me that much, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the only thing you could have maybe had some of these pieces you'll see they have a big and a small version, so maybe something like that. But
yeah, and
you do have that here too.
Here's what I'm gonna say right off the bat. As I said at the start of the video, I'm super hyped about this pack and I really like it. So for me, every bit of feedback that I personally have feels like nitpicking at a certain point. Oh, I didn't realize this had the smoke.
Incense actually burn. Yeah, that's crazy. I just now noticed it with the little pieces there. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
So these pieces are gorgeous, but again, they're not Flexi-color. You can see there's wood set back here of all the same pieces that are Flexi-color. So at least they gave us some options there.
And these, like, I was gonna say, like, a year ago I would have said, gold pieces, I will never use them, and then I saw Mike use them like multiple times in Tarmashadi and Koali. So I'm not saying that this time, because there's gonna be a moment where this appears in my Zeus. Because it does look really cool and fancy. So
yeah, it's really well done, and the gold color is perfect. It doesn't look fake, really.
No.
You know, it's not easy, and that's probably the reason why that's not Flexi-color. Difficult to do. But the another lamp post here, I mean, this post by itself is super versatile. You can use for a ton of things. It could be a support post for a fence. It could be you know, for a support beam for a building awning, all kinds of stuff you can use that for. This piece is really nice. I like that it's I mean, I can't think of anything specific that I might, you know, use this, but I just know it's going to be versatile, and there's going to be ways people use this and we're like, what the hell piece is that?
I'll make sure it finds its way in Tivoli.
So that's a really nice lattice piece. And then these, I was really happy, are Flexi-color.
Oh yeah, and they are super Flexi-color. They have like 3 slots that you can, like, there's 2 stone, there's 2 moss types. So yeah, you can do that. Then there's the actual stone piece, and then there's a secondary color that is like a slight highlight. If you make it really blue or really dark, it can
low light even.
Yeah, it's. Here's the thing. After the last scenery pack, the Twilight pack, I was like, yeah, I really like all the pieces we have here, but I don't know if I'll get excited about more stones and beams in the next DLC. And Frontier must have heard that, because but we'll give you stones and rocks with mossy textures and stains that you can actually control yourself. And I'm like, oh, god damn it.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw this photos of this set, I just assumed either 1, they weren't going to be Flexi-color, or 2, the stone would be, but the moss was not going to be.
Same.
I mean, and so you're looking at this, I mean, you've got 2 totally different biomes that you can use this in now.
Yeah, and you
desert and tropical. I mean, and you can go beyond that too. But.
Oh yeah, and the cool thing is, if you give all the slots the same color, it looks like one uniform rock, and it's not like that one. Sometimes you have these texture slots where then the texture looks slightly different, but that's not the case here.
Oh, okay. So you're saying if we did all 3, so this, this, and this. Oh yeah, I hadn't experimented with that yet. Yeah, that's a horrendous color, but you get the idea.
Yeah, I can also. Cool. I can't wait until people start using it and use like the moss as snow.
Oh yeah.
That would also be very cool.
Let's see. So if we do, let's try that. Oh yeah, that's a really smart idea. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you make the stone itself like blue, then you can make it look like fake ice. So.
Yep.
Here's all the cool things you can do with it, guys.
Yeah.
Just giving away all my ideas.
That's really cool. There you go.
Yeah.
Oops. Let's stay inside. Okay. Yeah, that's really cool. That's super practical for if you're doing like an interior of like an Arctic exhibit or something, and you want to obviously use the material. So like in this case, it would be like concrete that they painted or treated with coloring to make it try to blend into the theming of the area. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
And
then here, go ahead. Sorry, we're gonna say.
yeah, I was gonna say, and this entire set consists of all the cool little pieces you were looking
Hmm.
at right now.
Yeah, yeah. And they, so they gave here's where they gave you, larger and smaller, and then here again, these are pieces where, as small as that is, just crazy to think what people are going to use with it.
People are going to make all kinds of weird stuff again.
Yeah, yeah. Thin. I'm always a fan of these thinner
Yeah,
pieces. I mean, these are basically the same as the painted, the thin painted wooden pieces or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And some statuary with the animals that are in
Yeah.
the pack.
I do like these a lot.
Obviously, you would assemble this, but yeah, they're really really well done. I think I like that they're so modular, too.
Yeah, I love these. Yeah, really,
Cool.
really
So yeah, all that stuff is super versatile. I mean, and then there's just those same pieces in the painted wood texture, and then these are some of my favorite pieces.
I knew you were going to say that.
So more, Flexi-color wood pieces, but these little caps here. So I mean,
I've
awesome.
I've made some fences with that, and I'm so happy.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to make it look like it's metal too.
Yeah, and if you make
rust it a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. You can make the poles have a very rusted look. And the smallest piece is not a 1 meter one, but a half a meter one, which is super
I didn't
useful.
Even notice that, yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I've been super hyped about.
And then, I mean, just this piece alone will have all kinds of applications.
Oh,
too.
yeah.
I mean, just sink that little circle through a wall or something, or through another piece. I mean,
yeah.
But I love the mix of Flexi-color here.
Yeah.
Because the highlight and then the main color just give you tons of options to make it look like different types of metals.
It's basically the theme of this DLC and the scenery pieces, to be honest. It's
yeah.
Yeah.
And then the again, more modular stuff. I mean, the fact that they took this fence and then broke it down into, because obviously these beams are basically these, and then you've got the I'm spacing on what
the post.
Yeah, I mean post. There's like a technical term I was spacing, but yeah, those. And then the pillar here too is really nice.
Yeah. And all these little plank pieces. Again, with them, the triangle pieces, those are really, really cool.
Yeah, that's a nice change to have added in. Everything we always get is rectangle or square typically. So that's nice to have those. And then we also get some thicker round beams too, in addition to the thin round ones down there.
So the one nitpick that I had with these, and I love them, is that they are not climbable. And it's been a while since we've gotten new climbable pieces. We are getting some, but they are foliage pieces. And I kind of was like, okay, but now we have the toggable state, and I was hoping that meant that these would be climbable. Again, it's a nitpick. I'm already super happy to get all these pieces.
I mean, and we'll get down to some pieces here too that we wish were climbable, and probably is more of a omission than that. But I mean, and speaking of climbing, and I'll show this too when we go into Tivoli with the new Gibbon habitat, is the ability to turn off the climbing feature is so awesome. They were escaping, and the habitat was calculating the main building inside that area, and so the ability to turn it off now was really, really cool.
And especially being able to select a bunch of pieces and then simply turn it off once, super useful.
Yeah. So I love this umbrella. I think there's, they're really, really nicely themed, but not like over the top, and general enough with sort of like an Asian appearance that you could use it in a multitude of different areas.
Yeah, and Southeast Asian theming is quite common in zoos anyway, so I think it's fine.
And it seems like at least in America, most zoos, when they have Asian areas, they tend to blend a lot of different cultures into one area. So you get things that might not be technically accurate, but aesthetically they fit the vibe, and that's why they use it. So I think that'll be a nice addition to a lot of zoos. Ladder here is sort of a scenery piece, or a trellis, I guess, but obviously it looks like a ladder. So lots of ways to use that.
I thought it was a ladder.
Yeah, I did too. I mean, but as a trellis, I mean that's a really nice trellis to use as well. As usual, the signs are on point. I mean, these are so cool.
That's one of the many things that Frontier has really started listening to. Was like, we were like, hey, we all like the themed signs. It's not that we don't like them, but in a zoo you would like to have a consistent set of signs.
Yes.
And I'm very happy that they've been doing this pretty much since, I think it was Wetlands. And they continue to do it, and I'm very happy that they do.
It would be awesome if at some point too, I mean, I know this is probably not going to happen, but it'd be awesome if they went back and just every animal had this style of sign.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
These are really, really cool though. I love the Gibbon ones.
Oh yeah.
Cool. So these are pieces that if you toggle, and I didn't know about these, you had to point them out to me. So if you toggle just by the tropical pack, these are not going to show up, but they are a part of the tropical pack.
Yeah, I've already let Frontier know, so the chances are that is going to be fixed.
That's going to get patched. Okay.
Yeah, by the time.
But
by the time you have
we were just talking before we got on that I would pay money for a pack entirely made up of stuff like this. So, I mean, for your backstages and for your keeper areas and all that kind of stuff. I mean, incredible. And so you were saying. So here the cardboard is not Flexi-color, but these like bands. And
the bands and like if you pick the other one, you can.
Oh, that stripe there, so you can do. Okay.
Yeah, that stripe and then the collar. Yeah, there you go.
And then the bags are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So lots of
of
potential uses for that too.
Gonna be so cool for backstages and stuff.
Yeah. Awesome addition. Cool. So those are more of your just decorative pieces and things like that. So it does come with a new wall set, which is Flexi-color as well. Oh shoot, I wanted to be able to change it all at once. Hold on. Okay, so these are Flexi-color as well, which is amazing because there's all kinds of practical uses for them. So you can make it look like any sort of stone you want or any sort of brick color you want.
And I had to get used to. I was kind of expecting that it would have been like, okay, X amount of bricks are that slot, Y amount of bricks are that slot, and Z amount is that. It's a weird way of doing colors, like Flexi-color colors, but I really like it, and you can get some really cool results with that. It's again the highlight, like look at that. Yeah, like I love this.
Yeah, I mean there's so many ways you can now use these. I mean I suppose again the only nitpick is just maybe people would have preferred a more uniform brick texture, or brick shape I should say. But I mean even I look at something like this, and a common thing that at least in that we'll use in Colorado for Tivoli Zoo is we get a lot of these like stacked stone walls, and so being able to color that in more of that style, so you would have like a lighter sort of main color, and then you'd mix in some like reds, not that red, but
it does take a while to get used to and figure out the colors, but it does work, and it's really cool.
Yeah, I'd have to mess with it, but you get the idea. So really, really nice set. Obviously comes with all the pieces you would expect. And then these ones are not on the grid over here. So you've got some thicker and thinner pillars to utilize. And then I'm going to go back to that other color because it looks nicer.
Yeah, this looks a bit weird.
Yeah. There we go.
Oh, man, that looks so good.
So and then this is the one that people noticed in a lot of the screenshots, this piece here, which again super versatile, lots of uses for. I can see using this as like for some habitats, the openings for smaller animals.
Oh yeah, that's
into the sort of backstage holding area.
Oh, that's a good idea. Should have done that.
Yeah. So and then the roof pieces are one of my other favorite additions to the game.
Same.
So So you've got a couple options. You've got these thicker thatch roofs, and they are Flexi-color, but only the wood
Yeah.
can be changed.
And
So
for me, that's kind of a nitpick where I wish I had Flexi-color thatch. On the other hand, this is the kind of thatch color that I wanted for like 3 years now.
Right.
So you won't hear me complain too much about that, to be honest.
Yeah, and so my only sort of, again, nitpick on these is that the texture pattern does repeat a little too frequently across these. So if you use, for example, well, I'll show you when we get into Tivoli Zoo, because I'm going to have to tweak it a little bit, but that's my only sort of nitpick. But you do have these thicker sort of temple thatch roofs, and then the nice thing is you also have some thinner ones too. So if you're looking to use it in a more realistic fashion inside of the zoo, you've got that where it's not so highly themed.
And also they are all non-gridded, so you can do all kinds of cool stuff with that.
Yep, and then they took these roof seams and broke it off into one piece too, which is great.
This is also I also really like this because it gives you like a small version and a big version, and it's the kind of thing also in zoos. Like some zoos have the budget to make these thatch roofs on the real scale, but other ones simply just want that smaller one. So yeah, really cool.
Yep. I love the entire roof set. I mean, these are beautiful too. I mean, this is something I'll never use in my zoos, or my zoo, I should say. But I can see a lot of people taking advantage of this.
I wish I had this.
Yeah.
I wish I had this when I was doing koali.
Yeah. Well, now you're gonna go back and do it all over again.
No.
Yeah, these are so well done. Really beautiful pieces to work with.
Exactly.
And then obviously this would be your in-between piece here. Cool. Sweet. So the pack also comes with some plants. So these are
the pitcher plants.
Yes.
The atom ones.
These grow like this, yeah?
And then you have to rotate them like 180 degrees on the other axis, the red one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, those hang upside down.
Oh, these are like that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Here.
Yeah, like that.
I had no idea. Don't worry, I know what I'm doing.
Don't worry, guys. He's a professional.
Whatever.
He's been playing Planet games for a long time now.
So, I mean, these are obviously great for like tropical houses and things like that. Or if you're doing a botanical garden, I'm sure you're gonna love these additions to the set. Some nice ferns to go inside of a basket.
Yeah. And if you like sink them into the ground quite well, it looks like the sword ferns you find in the more temperate rainforests in North America as well. So that's really
okay.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then I have no idea what that is.
I don't know how to pronounce it.
Rafflesia?
Yeah, it's the Pokemon plant. Everyone knows that this is the Bulbasaur, the Venusaur plant.
Right. It's carnivorous plant, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then a bunch of vines, which are really cool and work really well. I love these. Yeah,
really good additions. And then stuff that comes in the free update is over here. So these are incredible. These Kentia palms.
Yeah.
I'm already going to plop a bunch of these inside of Tropical Discovery and replace some of the larger palms that I had to use previously.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get these vines as well. You can see they are climbable, which would be great to have inside your habitats.
Yeah. These are absolutely awesome.
Yeah, they look really cool. And then Tropical Leaf Clutter, not recolorable, unfortunately. But still, I mean, you can mix those with some of the other clutter leaf details we've gotten now and kind of make what you need. Comes with a Cercopia or Cecropia, however you say that, sapling, and which is nice. I mean, again, it's probably use this more as a shrub.
Oh yeah.
And then they added in the bicycle wheel, the wagon wheel. So this is from the bike that's already in the game, and the wagon, the wheelbarrow that's already in the game, and then a thick candle and thin candle, or large, I think, large candle, yeah, and then some rough rope, large and small.
And they are Flexi-color.
They are Flexi-color, unfortunately not climbable.
Yeah. But the fact that they are Flexi-color does a lot for me, because if you make them gray, it looks like the typical cables that you see.
Oh yeah. Like that. Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah.
So you probably, I haven't tried this yet because I didn't know about these pieces until we started talking today. But if you were to put a climbable piece inside of this, would
that
the animal still climb, or would
that usually works. I just don't know if there's a thin enough piece. I think the thinnest climbable piece is thicker than this.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Cool. So yeah, let's check out some of the animals here. Let's do the sloths first. So
yes. So
walk through habitat here.
Yeah. So with every the pack so far has been really, really, really good. And this is my only thing that I don't like about the pack. As Ruble talked about, the Gibbons now do overhead climbing on every piece, so no longer just the railing piece. So I'm gonna assume that Frontier tried to also do that with the sloths, and that they had to do a walkthrough exhibit. So I don't mind the fact that it's a walkthrough exhibit that much, but I'm not a big fan of the climbing frame, and there's no way to get around the climbing frame. This is the minimal set that you get, which for me kind of limits me too much to actually use it.
Yep.
And that's my only flaw that I really have with the pack, and that's what's in my ranking makes it go from a 9 out of 10 to an 8 out of 10, which is still a very good score, by the way.
Yeah.
But it's the one thing that I didn't really like, even though that there's some cool stuff in here.
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised that this was a walkthrough. Do you feel like that was done because in order to promote this feature in the game, or because genuinely this was the only way to do sloths?
I think I gotta assume that that's the reason. I think if they've gone so far and made the Gibbons and the Siamangs do overhead climbing on every piece, there's no doubt in my mind that they at least try to do the same for sloths. But it probably didn't look the way they wanted it to look, and they went for this. Which, again, that in itself, it's not what I would have wanted, but I understand it. But yeah, the climbing frame is a little bit too bulky for me.
Yeah.
For other people, this might be just fine, and like this is simply for like people who are really into creative building.
Right. Yep.
So
yeah. I'm already assuming that if we ever get birds, it's going to be in this format too.
Yeah. That I'm pretty sure of.
Yeah.
If we ever get birds, then it's most likely going to be a walkthrough exhibit. I am still not convinced that we're getting birds to begin with, but
I'm not going to hold my breath either.
But let's go to the animals that we did get.
Yeah.
These guys.
I'm excited about these guys too. In the primate panorama area of the Denver Zoo, there's a red river hog, and I'd always hoped that I'd be able to have another, other than just the apes, have something in there that would draw people back there. And these guys are awesome.
Yeah, and there's nothing I can say about them. They look perfect. They're really cool. I've built for them, and it's so much fun. it's yeah, these are really, really cool.
Yeah, so if you're watching this over on Iben's channel, there will be a video where we walk through a habitat he built for these guys
Yeah.
for it was for St. Reg, right?
Yes, for St. Reginald Zoo.
Cool,
Yeah.
cool. Awesome. So yeah, please, I'll drop a link to that video in the description. And so when you're done watching this, head over there and check out that video because we're obviously looking at these and not the greatest habitat here. So, all right, I'm gonna hold on. Let's get rid of some of this grass too, so we can see this guy.
Yeah. This is also an animal that I really enjoy. And it also has, like, if I remember it correctly, it has a melanistic version.
Cool.
So that's really cool.
Yeah, I think I'm going to replace in Tropical Discovery. There's a Nile monitor in there.
Yeah.
I'm going to replace that with this.
And these guys can deep dive. I don't know if they also updated the Nile monitor. I didn't have time to check it yet.
Okay.
But yeah, these can deep dive, so that's really cool.
Yeah, the texture on this is really, really
good.
Cool.
Just love these.
And then same thing. Let's get rid of some of this. All right. And I'll be honest, didn't even know these guys existed prior to this.
You have kids. Let them watch the Madagascar movie. It's
all the zoo people, like the animal people who watch the zoo series, probably hate me because this idiot knows nothing about animals. I just know about building guys. That's it. Okay.
Yeah, but it's a really beautiful animal. It looks really good, and it's something that I've talked about in the past. The model and texture quality of these animals are always so good that even if there are small things that aren't super accurate, my eye doesn't notice it anymore because the animal itself look so good. And I think this might be a good base for modders who want to use it to make civets and stuff like that.
Okay.
Probably also an animal you've never heard of before, but
I'm just gonna say it. Yeah, okay, sure.
Very beautiful animal.
Absolutely. Yeah.
When I was saying it, I thought, yeah, Ruble would know.
Awesome. So other than the sloths, you are and it's not even so much the appearance of the sloths is good, I think.
Yeah.
It's just how they're in the game, basically.
Yeah. I'm not going to go into Slothgate. I know that.
Oh yeah.
That's the thing. I understand that most people wanted to have the one that was more common in zoos, but on the other hand, this one is still found in captivity. So as long as that's the case, I'm okay.
Yeah.
But now I'm super, super looking forward to what you've done to the Gibbons, because that is...
Yeah, so it's not done. But so I left this up here because I wanted people to be able to see the comparison between the old Thatch and the new. I mean, it's just so much better.
Yeah, and I do get what you mean with a little bit of texture repetition, but I think you can... I think with, for instance, some other Thatch pieces and maybe some of the moss pieces, you can actually...
That's a good call. Use some of the moss pieces. I didn't think about that, but I was thinking even if you had some that were, some of these rows where you break up so we got a 2 meter there, and then maybe you add in a 1 meter eave. Oh, we haven't even talked about this yet. The in between. So this is a good example of where. That's nice to have.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's a thing. That's a new way of placing things. I have used it quite a few times already. Quite often by accident.
Yeah.
But I do like it. It's another tool in the toolbox, and I'm not sure how to use it yet. But I'll it's one thing that I'll have to get used to, but I think it has a lot of potential.
Yeah, when it is frustrating when it happens when you're not expecting it. But I mean, again, I think so much of that is too just we're also used to using just either XYZ and nothing else. So
yeah, it's gonna just take a little adjustment, but after a while, it's gonna work out fine.
It is nice to have though. So
yeah.
Let's see. Hopefully none of these.
Oh yeah.
So this is up there just so I can show different options, but so that's not actually what you can
So
see.
the Gibbon is doing the Gibbon is doing the thing that Ruble calls the idiot walk.
Yeah, they do. They run across like an idiot, and I want them to brachiate more.
But I can confirm I saw these animals in real life a few weeks ago, and they do in fact run like an idiot, as you call it.
They do. They look like total idiots running across there. Look at that. But they also they do brachiate here too, which is nice.
Yeah.
We'll see if he'll do it. So I've got a couple of different things up here. So this is not the final finished version of this. I just wanted to display kind of different ways that they will cross in this example. But it's so nice to have this exhibit functioning. It actually draws guests down here now, so you can see. And this structure, by the way, was done by Wyatt. Previously, though, we had to rely on large beams for them to actually make their way across. They wouldn't use these pieces. So now, though, they will. But the only problem I have here is, and I'm going to get out of this view now so we can take a look. The only problem I have here is that the area that they can navigate in is very, very minimal, and they tend to glitch out a lot, which means they get put back into their crates a fair amount. So I've got a lot of work to do to make this function a little bit better, but I did. And one thing I was trying to do that doesn't seem to work. So one over here. I was trying to, I'm going to pause it now. I was trying to make it so that I was trying to put paths in using the free build mod to get to here, so that the keeper would actually come in and be able to go to each of these islands, but they won't go through the water, unfortunately. The peeps will, which is interesting. Like if you put a path underwater, the peeps will walk in it, but the keepers will not. But I did reorient the entrance here into in this down this way. So now we used to just have like a gate in here with a keeper hut, and then none of the animals would be able to make it out. But so there's still more work to do here. But one of the things that was so nice is now, so this whole building, if we look at this, let's see, we'll look at, so this is what was being calculated before. Well, why is it? Oh, here we go. Oh no, you know what it was? If animals were inside of here.
Ruble, we just missed the Gibbon brachiating.
Okay, I'll move them back. But anyway, so let me pause. So this previously was being picked up by the habitat as a climbable structure. So they were climbing up on here. Plus, it was needlessly wasting processing power and calculating that. So all it takes is you select a building, you just turn off this climbing. So I've done that for, I don't know if it's made a big difference, but I've done it for buildings where there's not even a climbable animal anywhere. Just turn off. If there's climbable pieces inside of the building, you just click it and turn it off.
Yeah, that's an insanely nice feature.
Yes. Where was it?
On your left.
This guy?
On your right, I mean. Wow.
Oh, right,
right. Yeah, there's one there, and he was...
See, then it glitches out on me. So, hold on.
So we can confirm they actually do swing on all these branches and stuff. It's yeah.
Yeah, we'll
it's usually when you start recording then it doesn't happen. But yeah.
Let's see if they'll do it. I mean, these guys are. We'll zoom in a second on some. So the other thing that I was having problems with is, hold on, we'll pause it so we don't miss it again. Okay, so it's working now. So there was an issue before where like Gibbons here could navigate this entire structure, but couldn't actually get down to the ground over here, and vice versa. So I moved this platform a little bit closer, and that seems to have fixed it. But I know you were having some problems with that too. So it is finicky. It's not like super seamless to get this done.
Do you have anything on the right island that could draw them there, like some kind of enrichment item or like water or something like that?
No, I mean, water is probably what I should do. I should probably hide water on the ground.
Yeah.
Let's see if they'll climb across here.
Come on,
Seems
buddy.
like they're more likely to climb if I drop them over here. So let's do this guy too. Let's increase our chances here. You can hear them. Well, I mean, you might not be able to on the recording, but
oh yeah,
that's one of the coolest parts. You walk down in here because that's, I mean, when I've been here at the Denver Zoo, especially if you go in the morning, they're usually pretty vocal.
Oh, there's one climbing. He's jumping.
Where?
On the right, behind the trees.
Oh yeah, they're probably on this little structure back here. Running like an idiot.
I'll never be able to unsee that now.
So they will. So basically, what I have here, they will brachiate across all of these. So we'll just pause it across all of these. So this is the that's the climbable log. That's probably the one that they'll brachiate on the most. I found surprisingly, they don't do it a ton on this.
Oh, I've had them do it a lot on the vines, actually.
Okay, well maybe that's just something weird about how this exhibit is set up. I don't know. I'm gonna have to go in, I think, and like break this down to its bare bone structure, and then build it back up so that it's not. So I think there's almost too much it's trying to calculate. So I don't know. But anyway, you get the idea that it is possible. Here we go. Please do it. Yeah.
I think it's because it's not connected well. Anyway. You still have a few days. You can record some footage.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll put some footage up of them actually doing it. So, but yeah, here's another, again, just replacing the roofs.
Looks so good.
Thatch piece. Yeah, it looks so much better. Again, my only sort of nitpick is the repeating. I mean, it kind of looks like maybe just water has worn down and colored that over time, but and then same thing up here.
Oh yeah, looks really, really good. So, yeah, I love it.
Oh, and then the
sweet.
So yeah, so much better theming now from that standpoint. But yeah, so overall thoughts. I mean, I know I kind of asked you at the beginning, but just summarize for you the pack.
Great animals and even better scenery pieces. So yeah, it's in my must-buy category.
Yeah, I would agree. I think the flexibility of the scenery pieces, I mean, obviously I'm more inclined to care about building pieces than the animals, but this pack's great for me because I have 3 animals that will go in my zoo, and this area has needed an actual exhibit, and eventually I'll get it to work. So
sweet.
But yeah, well, like I said, there's going to be an episode over on Iben's channel building a red River Hog exhibit, so please go check that out. Otherwise, hope you all enjoy the new DLC. It's definitely worth your money.
All right. See you guys.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good day.